And we are live once again in the crypt.
Hi, guys.
Another episode of DK and the Bees Horror Buzz. It's been a little while, but I think we got a pretty awesome show tonight. Pretty exciting show.
A very exciting show. So, yeah, we've been off air for a while because we've been super duper busy. But as you guys all know, we are having an amazing actor who's done so much more than I've even been aware of. So we're going to learn all about the amazing Michael Bailey Smith. And here he is. Let's give a warm welcome. John, oops, wait. Oh, no, where's my sound effects? You get them in.
Okay, I'll bring them in. You got the sound effects?
Yeah, I do. Here we go. Michael Bailey Smith.
Hey, how are you? Good seeing you guys.
See, the crowd is all here. Yeah.
Good.
So we've got so much to talk to you about. Even though we both were in Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Michael and I have actually never met. This is our first time meeting. So
yes.
So I'll look down on the screen. You can look up like Brady Bunch, and then we'll see each other. Does it look like we're waving at each other? No, wait. This way. I don't know, something like that. Anyway.
So hey, before we get started, I just wanted full disclosure here. It looks a little weird. I have some stuff going on both sides of my head here. So as a word to wise, please wear sunscreen. When I was younger, sun god out there, no sunscreen, and I'm paying for it. So a little bit of skin cancer on both sides, and they're using this cream stuff that's just burning off the layer. So, I'm feeling a little bit like Freddy Krueger right now. So
it fits the theme. It fits the theme tonight.
It totally fits the theme. You look great.
Thank you.
And while we are going to be asking Michael all kinds of stuff, you guys probably you know him from you probably know him from all kinds of different things. But we're going to start off discussing Nightmare on Elm Street 5 in particular, not just because he's in it and I'm in it, but we also have a special guest that was unannounced. And we'd like to welcome Joe Seeley. Woo!
Hey,
where's my crowd? Where's our crowd? Hold on.
That was my applause.
Oh, here we go.
Thanks,
there we go.
Really, don't stop. Hi, everybody.
Hi. So
hey,
those
Michael,
of you,
you're looking good, buddy. My sympathy's on the skin. I got the same thing working. I'm a little scared.
Yeah. So I had a big hunk taken out of the back of my arm. And then that's driving up to 405 every day in Los Angeles.
Sure. Yeah.
And, that side of the face where your head's at, and I'm paying for it now. But I learned my lesson. That's why I'm a nice white guy right now. Just no stay out of the sun.
Well, it's good for you to make the PSA about it too.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
It is.
Yeah. No, it's important. And you California folk out there. Yeah, exactly. So we have got Michael and Joe here together. We're having like this Nightmare on Elm Street 5 reunion. Woo!
Hey, Dominic. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. So those of you, just as a quick reminder, this was our Joe Seeley. Yeah. Oh, no. There you go, Joe, the cartoon Joe. And then we got dun, 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 Super Freddy. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. All right. So,
is that crazy?
That's crazy. It is crazy. One of the things, there's so many things to talk about, but one of the things I just wanted to say right off the bat is I am so jealous because Michael Bailey Smith has not one, but not two. You got 3 action figures?
3 action figures, yeah.
So check this out, you guys. Look at this. He's got a NECA action figure.
Yeah.
Like that is so. Is there one for you, Joe? Do you have a?
No, I'm a little cut out in one of Michael's though.
Yeah, you might come sign it. That's good because it was awesome.
I signed a couple for some fans who found me and tracked me down. But yeah. No, look at
that's
you.
My action figure. But Joe, I think we all should have our own action figures, don't you?
Yeah.
Sure. Yes, I'm not here to say no to anything. That's my new motto.
The only thing is I get zero money for it. The only thing I get money for is signing them. So. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Hey, man, Fright Regs made a beautiful T-shirt of us fighting. Did you get that?
I did not.
That's a beauty. It's one of my favorites. Go to Fright Rags, fans. That's a plug for
It's called Fright
One of my
Rags?
friends.
Okay.
Fright Rags, yeah. The image is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful artwork.
Oh, Michael, is the lady of the hour next to you? Because look at this comment from our fans. Somebody says,
I know who it is. I know who that is. That's going to be the big swag.
Oh, is
Yeah.
It's
it?
got to be Brett. It's got to be Brett.
Look at
So
this.
this-
Hello. Everyone say hello to Michael's fiance.
Yes.
Hello.
Her name is Paige. Paige Collins.
Hi,
So,
Paige.
Hi, Paige.
I had moved to Dallas, and I had gotten divorced, and I was single for a while, and I met her. I said, "You live in Arkansas?" She goes, "Yep, Northwest, and about 5 hours away." And I'm like, we talked on the phone like the next day, and she had 21 questions for me, asking about what's my favorite color? Have you ever did porn before? Because you heard about that whole acting thing, right? And I said, well, the only porn was very way less than it was like. It was at the beginning of Nightmare on Elm Street, right? So I played.
Right.
Yeah. So
Were you the body double for Dan?
I was.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
And-
You
and-
Did you
and-
guys know that, fans? You heard it here.
That's
And
news
here,
to me.
talk about a small world here. So Dan went off after that. Was an Army Ranger, right? Deployed, all those things like that. Well, guess what? My older son, went off to be an Army Ranger as well. So both deployed in the whole situation. So a lot of history there.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I met her, and once I met her, I really believe in this thing, and it's called the holy shit factor. You have to live your life with the holy shit factor, meaning whatever you do, you walk into if you want to buy a house, you walk in and go, holy shit, this is what I want. You want to do something, be holy shit, the way you write, the way you act, everything's got to be done. When you say, holy shit, this is freaking awesome. Right. And when I saw her, I'm like, holy shit, this is the gal that I want. And I drove 5.5 hours to go up to see her. And then about a month later, I'm like, I'm just going to stay up here. She said, I'm cool with that. And so now we're getting married. So
congratulations.
Congrats,
That's really cool.
So everyone here is invited. It's April 28th in Northwest Arkansas. Beautiful. We got it at a winery called Sassafras Winery.
Oh,
beautiful place. There's these Scottish ruins that they've replicated. We're gonna have outing with bands, and we're gonna do it up, man. It's gonna be great.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Wait, when is it again? I'll see if I'm available.
April 28th, 2024, next year.
Okay. All right. That'd be cool.
It'll be nice and green, and the weather's gonna be awesome. Northwest Arkansas. Well, I'm thinking Arkansas, really? I'm gonna live in Arkansas, but man, it's really nice.
Down in the Arkansas. The sweetest girl I ever met was down in the Arkansas. So, yeah.
There's a song name for that?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, it is. It is. It's an Ozark. When I was a little girl, we were only allowed these records from National Geographic, and it was like songs of the world or something. And there was one for Ireland, one for Scotland, one for Greece, and there was one for the Ozarks. So,
oh wow.
Anyway, but oh yeah, we got a lot of fans here watching today. So now that we have the two of you together, tell us about what you remember about the whole filming. How much was actually physically together? How much wasn't?
We were in the same room. We were in the same trailer. I was, Michael was gigantic, and he had his shirt off. He had all these muscles sitting in the makeup chair. And I was a scrawny little guy who always had muscle envy. So I have this one image of us. I got the makeup ladies to take a picture of us both like flexing. And Michael is like, big, strong dude. And I'm this scrawny little guy next to him. But I remember that. And then firing guns at you. And yeah, all of it.
For me, and Joe, I don't know. I know you had been in the business for a bit yet, right? So was this your first role, or you've been doing this?
No, I'd had smaller roles, but this was my first lead. Yeah, kind of up there. Yeah.
So this was my first ever role. Period.
Oh wow.
And so how this happened is I was telling this to Beatrice earlier. So I was in the military, 82nd Airborne as a paratrooper. I got out, walked on at Eastern Michigan. Ended up going to the Dallas Cowboys. I was there for enough to get a drink of water. Maybe a little bit longer than that. I blew my knee out, and then ended up going to California, to San Diego, with a friend of mine named Steve Henneberry, who ended up being an American Gladiator. Before he did that, though, he dabbled into acting, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to go up to Los Angeles for this movie called Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 5, playing a bigger version of Freddy Krueger called Super Freddy. Why don't you come with me? You can audition too, maybe. We'll see." I said, "All right." So I took the day off from work and went up there, and it was right there. The audition was on Hollywood and Vine. I mean, it was my first time in Hollywood. I saw the Hollywood sign. I saw the Walk of Fame. I saw the Brown Derby that was still there. I saw all those things, and I went into the audition. He auditioned, and when he got done, they asked me if I wanted to audition. I said, "Yeah, okay." Went in there and met Stephen Hopkins, and in his, now that I was Australian, I thought it was English, but whatever accent, asked me if I laugh like Freddy Krueger, and I said, "Yeah." And so I let out this big laugh, and he goes, "That's fucking awesome. Guess what? You got yourself a job." And I'm like, "What? I have a job." And he goes, "Yeah, take a few days off now." And that's kind of what happened. So next thing you know, I'm at that studio and whatever, I forgot what's in that area?
That
like
rice
Culver City, not Culver City, but kind of like
It was an old noodle factory.
Noodle factory. I knew it was flour.
Yeah.
Pasta.
Then went there, and I remember I had a makeup test, and I sat in the trailer with Robert Englund. I couldn't believe it, and he and I talked about Freddy Krueger, and I'm like, this is so cool. And then I got to meet you, and just how great you were, and I years later I won an award, the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards for The Hills Have Eyes, and I was with Robert Englund, and I told Robert, and even in my speech, my acceptance speech for that award, I said if it wasn't for him, and it wasn't for guys like Joe and everybody on that show that were so phenomenal and so gracious to me, I never would have been an actor. Because if you guys were all crappy to me, like, this is how it is, well, I'm not going to be part of this. I would have walked away. But so great, and just all of it. And every day on that set, I was hardly probably ever in my trailer. I was always on the set wanting to watch and see how things were being done. And it paid off. Because one day I'm sitting there on the set. I was only there like for a week or a few days, whatever it was, to do this thing. And standing there, and the casting director and Stephen Hopkins are like talking. They look over at me, talking, look at me again. And then Stephen walks up and he goes, "Hey, Michael, what do you think about doing a love scene?" I'm like, "What, is Super Freddy?" And I'm like, "No." And that's what happened. I know. No, for the body double, I'm like, I said, "You pay me for this?" And they go, "Yep." I go, "I'm in. Let's do it. Let's go. I love Hollywood." Next thing you know, I finished with that, and I stayed an extra like day or 2 days to do this little bit part beginning.
Oh my God. I should call Danny, get him to come on too right now. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. We don't have enough screen time, but yeah, you were his. So those who came in late, what Michael's talking about, he was the body double for Danny Hassel at the beginning, the love scene with him and Alice at the opening of Elm Street 5, that hunky big old body. Yeah. Not that Danny doesn't have a hunky big old body, but not like Michael's hunky big old body.
Yeah, I just Paige, we're here right now. I'm in my parents. I'm in South Dakota, Rapid City, just about maybe 30 minutes from Mount Rushmore. My dad was in the Air Force for 30 years and retired here, and so I'm in their room and doing this podcast, and they have these old photos that my fiance Paige is going through, and there's a photo of me posing that I'm like, I haven't seen that that shot. No, the other one, so it's pretty cool. So I still wish I looked like that, but I don't.
Don't we all, man?
Yeah, but Joe, you look great.
Thanks, man.
You do, man.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be here. It's nice to be invited. And I just want to talk B up too. Michael, you were great working with you, but I've spent a little time on the outside with B too. She's a lot of fun. So, I just want to say thanks for thinking of me. But I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to have to split in a second. But it's good to see you, Michael, and I'm glad you're well. And I'm looking forward to the rematch.
I'm ready. You let me know. Now my shoulders are bad now, and my knees are hurt, but so you probably take advantage of me, but. Yeah.
I could never do much but run anyway, buddy. But so I'll have a little advantage. I'll just keep my distance, and maybe we'll just wait till you take a nap, and I'll call it a win.
Well, that scene we did is iconic for sure. I mean,
It
it's
truly is.
one that stands out. So
It's my favorite kill. I mean, you know, I love you. I love that scene. Out of all, that's my personal favorite. I just think it's so cool how it was done.
I don't know if Joe remembers this, but do you remember when they originally put the outfit on me? There was no lightning bolt across. Remember? And they had squibs underneath my shirt. And they went off, caught the shirt on fire, and they're like, crap, what are we going to do? So they put the lightning bolt across it to cover the holes in the shirt.
Yeah, we were moving fast. That was clever. Yeah, we had a good, I really wish I could remember the wardrobe lady's name, the designer. She was really great. And I worked with her in another capacity later on in life. And she was very sweet, really nice lady.
I found a original photo of me in the shirt, and the original shirt just recently, a while ago. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Now, Joe, I'm curious. What was that other capacity that you just sort of slipped through?
Oh, you know, I've been sort of a vagabond. I built puppets and masks, and always have, even before I got the job doing Nightmare. It was kind of my little secret world, man. That where I would create my own monsters and look at them. But somebody hired me on as a gig on a Disney movie called Balloon Farm. And it was my first and only time puppeteering. And I really regret not knowing her name, but she was there working on the show. And we just talked about old times. And, you know, she talked me through stressful days and said, you're all right, son. And I needed it. So anyway, she was great.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, just real quick, I'm going to show you this. This is vintage. So where's the camera at? So it zooms in. Hold it this way.
Oh yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Super Freddy. Oh.
He was scary. Cool. He was scary. It was scary.
Yeah. Oh boy, Joe.
Well, Joe, you're a phenomenal actor for sure.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm a big sponge, and guys like you and everybody I work with, I suck as much information off them as possible to try to learn. Right. So.
Yeah, smart. That's the way to learn. Yeah.
Well, so, Joe, before you dash off, though, you have something coming up, right? Or is it?
There's always talk of shows, but I'm never sure exactly when they're real, so I can't confirm anything. There is talk, though.
Okay, all right. I'll squeeze Peter's arm again to be more specific, but we should definitely get Michael to join our gang when we do 5 reunions, because Michael,
that'd be fun.
Most of us from 5 are represented by Peter. Peter Valderrama.
Valderrama.
Yes. Valderrama. I mean Valderrama. I'm kidding, Peter. But see, he's not even watching, so we can talk about him. But no, you should join us. You should join us because we get everyone else together. It'd be really cool. People would love to see you.
Listen, guys. I confirm that sentiment, and I'm going to sign out. Michael, good to see you again. Dominic,
thank you, sir.
Lovely talking to you. What?
Doomsday Crypt.
We'll talk more later.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for popping on, Joe.
See you.
Sure.
Take care, honey. Bye-bye. So that was nice. Got little Joe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun little reunion.
Acting such a gypsy type of a community, right? So we work together and take off and go off and do the other things, but you build these relationships and you share this experience, and it's like it just, no matter how many years later, you still can wow, that's the guy that my first scene with, and just get a little emotional just thinking about it, which is kind of cool. So
memories, it's been a long time. We're coming up on. Here's Rolly, my co-host here, another co-host.
Oh, look at that.
Whoa, ouch, Rolly, sorry. But yeah, we're coming up on, this is year 34, I think, right? For us, 34 years, Elm Street 5.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
I did the acting gig hard for almost 30 years. So
good for you. Cool. Yeah, you've been doing so much. So let's talk about some of your other stuff. I don't know what all everyone knows, amazing things you've done. So we showed his other, well, actually I didn't show it. So do you guys know this? Dun, dun, dun. Fantastic Four.
The Fantastic Four. Yeah.
And your character is what's he called?
Well, the character I played was Ben Grimm, the human form of the Fantastic Four. That was the original Roger Corman one. So
What was that?
Yeah,
1990.
94, 93.
Okay.
And the thing about it, that film got shelved because me and the guy who played Reed Richards, Alex Hyde White, who's in not My Fair Lady. His father was Wilfred Hyde White from My Fair Lady. Alex did like Pretty Women, and really seasoned actor, came in, and he and I got together and said, hey, we got something here. So we went out and promoted this thing. We didn't know about it. Originally, this thing was just supposed to be shelved. They were just because Bernard Eichlinger wanted to was going to lose the rights to it. He had the rights to Fantastic Four to make the movie. And this is before Marvel came around. It was right before they started that studio.
Wow.
And I remember Stan Lee coming to the set, and walking up to me and says, you know what, Michael, when I wrote Ben Grimm, you are what I imagined. And I'm like, wow, thank you.
Wow.
And
That's great.
It was a really great, it was like a great role to where I was playing basically me. I went to, Ben Grimm went to Empire State. I went to Eastern Michigan. Ben played football. I had a big Letterman jacket. It had a big E on it and fit that perfect. I got my degree in computer science. Ben got his in engineering. So a lot of, we both we're very sensitive, yet we can be, in fits of rage, when we need to be, right? So, and be tough, but still very vulnerable. So there's so much similarities in a character, but
That's
we start promoting it, and then Bernard Eichner got wind of it and shut it down, and he sold the rights to 20th Century, so no one ever saw our film.
But I remember seeing the trailer in the theater, and I'm like, oh, cool. And Ben Grimm, the thing, was always my favorite character. And I was like,
it's clobbering time.
Yeah, it never came out. And I finally did see it on YouTube. There's I think I found it on YouTube, and it was a good movie. It obviously was missing the budget, but the story and the characters were done real well. Yeah,
it's a budget of less than $1 million, and it's tough to when it's released the same time as Jurassic Park. You can't compare budgets, right? So, but the story's there. We all Rebecca Staub, Joseph Culp, Alex Hyde White, Jay Underwood, who played Johnny Storm. It just all, and Joseph Culp played. He's the son of Robert Culp. The famous actor,
right,
and great actor, just great actor, and playing Dr. Doom. So
Dr. Doom, I love the names, right? That's so cool. And you guys, Michael just sort of flowed past the fact, they played football, I played football. I just learned, guess where he did play football, even if it was a short amount of time? Dallas Cowboys. He was a Dallas Cowboy. Woohoo!
Yeah, about 3 months.
Well, that's more than anyone watching, and that's really cool.
Yeah, my two sons play college football, and one's now out of playing college football because of injury, and then my older one is playing at Central Michigan. He's pretty remarkable. He was an Army Ranger, much like I was a paratrooper. He was an Army Ranger. He was much more badass than I was. He's a special operations guy and things like that. And Danny, who's played the lead in Nightmare on Elm Street 5, after he did that, he went off to be an Army Ranger. So they were in the same type of regiment, both war heroes and all that stuff. They will never call themselves that. They call themselves the quiet professionals because they don't brag about it. They don't talk about it. They just go and do their business.
Do their business.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so I was there for a short period of time in the Dallas Cowboys, but I got to put a helmet on, hit some people, and that's what happens.
Does it make you especially having done it yourself? Does it make you nervous when your sons play? I mean, I would be.
Not really. I mean,
No?
I know now that when they do get hurt, like my younger son, super talented, 6'5", runs a 40 and 4.6, super, 240-pound tight end. He was going to be phenomenal, right? But 2 major concussions in a row, and hurt his back. And you only got one back, and you only got one brain, so
Yeah, that.
tough to mess around with that.
Hi, Dave. Oh, I'm wearing these earrings. Dave Hogg made these earrings. He made me my baby Freddy earrings, but he also made me these.
Those are awesome.
I know, they're so cool.
Yeah.
But you should see the baby Freddy ones. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I guess if your son, are they big like you? Do they have your?
My younger one's taller. He's 6'5". I'm 6'4". My older one is shorter, but he's a thick dude.
Yeah.
He's 6'2" and about 235. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, big dudes. They love the gym.
You'd think playing football would be more dangerous than acting, but you were showing me your war wound earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. This right here. This is where I rarely wear short sleeve shirts anymore. So if you can see that
Big old
scar,
scar.
I have a scar from here. It starts here. It goes up here. I was doing a movie called Chain Letter. And it was right after I did The Hills Have Eyes. I came back literally I think a few weeks after I got back from Morocco doing The Hills Have Eyes. They called me and said, "Hey, we want to offer you this role, lead bad guy in this movie." And it's had some good people in it. And I played the lead bad guy in it. It's about a guy who sends like chain letters, and if you answer it, remember back you used to do that, chain letters.
Oh yeah, totally remember those. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you answer it, then I'm going to come and kill you. Pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
And the way I kill people is pretty dastardly, But so at the beginning of the film, I come in and I'm pretty big and yoked and feeling pretty cocky, I don't have the word confident maybe. And I go to the gym. My call time was like at 11 o'clock at night. So it's going to be a night shoot. So I went to the gym in the afternoon. I got a big pump on. I was doing biceps and things like that. And so we got on the set at I can get set to about 12 or 1. And they said, okay, we're going to pick this guy up and throw him across the room and kill him. And the guy weighed like 185 pounds, 190. And I could do two hands. I could throw him, no problem. It was easy. Pick, dead grab off the floor and toss the dude. He was a stunt guy. He helped me a little bit. I said, but you know what? I think I'm going to do this with one arm. So I snatched him and went, going to be so much more powerful on the screen and just do that. I went, and right when I got this far, it just snapped.
Oh.
And the bottom of the bicep went up to my shoulder. I found out there. And I got done. And this is the first take, the first scene for me.
Oh,
and I had another month on the film. And they paid me a whole bunch of money in advance to go do this film. And I'm like,
no refunds.
Huh?
No refunds.
Yeah. And I went over and Carl Trafalio, who's a good friend of mine. He was actually the guy in the Think suit for the Fantastic Four. We've been friends ever since. He came over and he goes, "You just tore your bicep, didn't you?" I said, "Yep." He goes, "I could hear it across the room."
Oh, fuck.
And I said, "I'm feeling a little queasy right now." He goes, "Well, it's a major injury. So go over and sit down." And I said, "So what you need to do is not tell anybody. Because if you tell anybody, I'm kicking your ass." Mm. And so he didn't tell anybody. I had to make up people effects. And because there was internal bleeding, right? All bleeding because it tore up both tendons off the bicep and it went into my shoulder. So it was bleeding down here. They covered up in makeup. I finished the rest of the film with that torn bicep.
Wow.
So,
seriously?
Yeah. And I had a lot of action. That's one thing. I had to reach down through a ceiling and grab a dude and pull him with that bad. That hurt like there's no tomorrow. So when I got done with filming, I went and got it fixed. And then about 2-3 weeks later, this is a funny story. 2 or 3 weeks later, I have to get, you know how when you're leads in films, you have to get the physical, right?
Yeah.
But production sends the doctor in to give you a physical to make sure you're okay. So they pass you to, be one of the leads in the film. So I'm in this movie called Bloodshot, and I go to the production company. I have a cast on my arm right here where they had surgery, and it was a little chilly out. So I wore a jacket. This is how bad these physicals are. I mean, poorly how these physicals are. I'm sitting in the chair. The doctor's over here, and my arm's over here in the cast, and she's just doing all this. Doesn't even touch this. Doesn't even know this is got in the cast. And I passed the physical.
Oh my God.
And so then right before the filming, I cut the cast off and then did this other film. So.
Oh Lord, you guys, listen. Are you hearing this? Talk about suffering for your art, and I mean, what an actor will go through.
Yeah.
Hiding all this pain.
Oh, I've been busted up. Von Damme broke my nose.
Oh my gosh.
I has a whole thing. I did that in Bulgaria. There's nothing more crazier than getting your head split open and blood everywhere. You know how head wounds are. And I'm like, it's just because skin's stretched tight across your skull. When you pop, cut it, it just splits open. There's blood everywhere. So, we have to take you to the hospital. Well, Bulgaria is ex-Soviet Union, country. And this is 2005, 6. And I go to this Bulgarian hospital. There's literally dead people in the hallway on gurneys as I'm walking by. And I go into the place where they're going to examine me. The doctor doesn't come in yet. The nurse comes in smoking a cigarette. And she says, the doctor is down the street eating lunch. He'll be back in a little while. I'm like, okay. And I'm looking over, and there's a table. There's like a Sprite bottle with a liquor spigot. I'm like, there's some stuff. They're going to use this on me. I take a picture of it just to make sure that if I die, I got some records, right? Doctor comes in, scratching his ball, goes, hey, Van Damme, kick your ass, huh? Like that. And so, but just crazy, crazy stories. Yeah.
Wow.
I get busted up pretty good. I like it though.
You like it. And then you keep going. Oh my gosh. I still can't picture. I can't fathom you going on like after, going with that arm.
That one
you
hurt
get
a little
the
bit.
name Super Freddy. You get to play Super Freddy.
I
That's
guess
what I'm talking
so.
about. Yeah.
That's the thing. Started off with Super Freddy, and
Living
then
the life.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this dude here. Tell us about this guy. That was
This is called Whatever It Takes.
Whatever It Takes. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to lead film this. I'm a steroid dealer, not a very good one because he sold steroids that killed people. So, he kind of ruins his client base, right?
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good plan.
I just can't get over how much you look like John Cena in that picture, man.
Yeah.
Just like my first one popped up, and you're like, Beatrice, why are you pulling up John Cena?
So that's
little Arnold in there too.
Yeah. That's got it with, it was like the movie had 3 names. Everybody had 3 names: Andrew Dice Clay, Fred Hammer Williamson, Donna Dragon Wilson, and Michael Bailey Smith.
Isn't that wild?
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I had a fun role, and that was good.
Very,
I
very
should get
cool.
to see Don. Don's going to be in Denver at the convention there. So.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about that. So, yeah, Crypticon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got.
Excited.
So wait, which one? The first up is ours this weekend, this coming weekend.
This weekend, July 7th through the 9th.
John and I will be in Kansas City, Missouri. Missouri? Do you say?
Missouri.
Missouri.
Well, I'm sure they call it Missouri, but I'm not from here. I'm from the Northeast, but I do love it.
Oh,
well,
I've heard.
Well,
Part 5.
Kansas City is only a few hours away from where
Arkansas.
You got to come down and visit.
Oh,
believe it or not, I know it seems kind of strange, but in Northwood, Arkansas has one of the best sushi houses ever. Hole-in-the-wall place that just kicks serious booty. And so me and my girl there go at least a couple times a month for sure.
とっても美味しい。私は寿司が大好き。
Yeah, so you didn't know. She knows, what is it? You know a few different ones.
That was Japanese.
Mandarin and
no, Mandarin Indian. Well, Wodu Jungle Buhao. But yeah, Japanese I speak because I lived there as a little girl.
Oh, you speak Japanese?
Hi.
Oh, wow.
I lived in Japan for 4 years from age 5 to age 9 when I was a little kid. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I worked for a Chinese company for about 6 years. So I've been to China about 30, 40 times. So wonderful people.
Right.
Love the country.
Yeah. So John, will we have time to drive to Arkansas from Kansas City and meet them for
depends
sushi?
how long we have. I'd love to go for some sushi. Arkansas is about 3 hours from me. I went to my buddy Jason Pitts had a film premiere out there, and I went there and met the cast and stuff.
In Northwest Arkansas, because Arkansas is kind of big, so
yeah, it's a big.
I can't remember where it was. It was about 3 hours away south of I couldn't even remember the name of it. It's been about a year. But I've driven through Arkansas many a times going back and forth to Florida.
Yeah, I love it. I grew up in like small towns. I was an Air Force brat, and we've always grown in these kind of like Air Force towns or like out in the boonies. And living in Los Angeles is fine. I did it for 30 years as an actor and get used to the 405 and the traffic and all the other craziness. But it's really refreshing. After I met my girl, I'm like, I got to move up there and just to be with her. And then I just love the area. So
I've never been, but I just, like I said, when I was a little girl, we'd listen to these records. Those were those old things that used to go around and around. No, but anyway, And this one from Arkansas, or the music of the Ozarks, and I learned all these songs. One which was Down in the Arkin, but they're beautiful. The music is just haunting. A lot of that bluegrass stuff, like the traditional blues.
Well, where we're at is in a place called Rogers. It's right, Rogers, Bentonville, Springdale, Pinnacle. It's all the areas that we're around, and it's right at the base where the Ozarks start growing and get big.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's really gorgeous.
Are you
Beautiful
Googling,
lakes.
John, how long it would take?
I am. I'm looking up Rogers. I remember if it was close to where I was.
How far it is from Kansas City?
It is a big area. Arkansas.
Yeah, Bentonville, like that's headquarters for Walmart. So yeah.
So we're going to be in Kansas City at Crypticon this coming weekend.
Yeah, 7th through 9th.
And Michael, so you're going to be in Crypticon Denver with these guys, which is when? When is that one?
Through the 20th.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my girl with me, she's coming with me too. So it's funny, she's a pretty cute gal. And I got pretty lucky. And it's funny, they'll ask her autograph more than they ask mine. It's pretty funny. I love it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We do. So I almost forgot. So Michael, we do have this. I think I mentioned we have a little segment that we do, which is the question. For our special guest. So you can choose either question number 1, question number 2, or question number 3.
What do you think, Paige? 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. We're gonna go for 3.
We're gonna go for 3. Okay, now it's written up here on the top. So Michael, if you had to change places with a very famous person who is living right now, anybody famous that's alive, you change places with them and you live the rest of your life as that person, but so you're in their body and you live as whoever they are, but you'll have your own soul, your mind, you'll have your memories. So you would know it. You would know that you somehow changed places and you become this person. Who would you be and why?
Sheesh. That's pretty crazy.
Right? Isn't it a crazy thought?
Someone who is alive today.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to change. You just, I don't know. God decrees you have to change places with this person. Who would it be and why? So you live the rest of your life out as that person. But of course, that person's personality can change because now you're inhabiting them. But who would that be?
Wow. That's a
doozy.
Yeah, that's a deep question. I think about politics sometimes, and there's a lot of things I like to do and change, make things better. But then I'll always be in jail too, because there's I do that.
I know we put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, it's
a tougher question than it sounds. I mean,
it is because
really is.
Obvious. Oh, I want to be Brad Pitt, or something like that, But I don't want to do that. I think. Yeah, it's probably like one of my sons.
Oh yeah.
I like to do that. One of my sons. I want to, and then hopefully, with my experiences and the things that I've learned throughout life. I have 2 sons, Hunter and Bailey, and I'm going to pick both, because they're equal. So I think that's who I'd want to go through them, and then with my experiences, help guide them. I don't know if you guys have any kids.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah. So one of the biggest compliments as a parent is to see your kids sometimes repeat some of the things that you've told them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when my older son was in the military and he just graduated. He graduated top of his class in basic training, and after that he went off to be an Army Ranger and deployed and all that stuff like that. In basic training, and he was the top graduate from it out of like 3,000 kids that were there at basic training, and we went to go see him, and this young kid who was in his platoon walked up to him and was so excited to have him meet his parents. And he goes my son repeated things to him that I told him. And that was just a most phenomenal experience to know that, you try to teach your kids, how to do things, do it right the first time, don't do it again, prior planning prevents performance, don't live your life half-ass. you have to live it to the fullest. Don't everything, do it halfway. All those kind of words of wisdom you give, and be gracious. Always say thank you. Learn to say I'm sorry. All those things. And when you see your kids doing that I think you could accomplish your mission as a parent. So that was really great. So I would love to be able to help them even more, with that, and maybe living their life with some of my experiences. So.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
very cool. Very cool. Although, would you still marry your fiance?
Yeah, no.
Because now you'd be this young boy.
That wasn't part of the equation. So yeah.
Tricky question. Twilight Zone, there's always a twist. It's always some weird little twist.
But things are, I'd also too, her and I were talking about this, I wish, the time we met was the right time. The same thing, I think about my experience, playing football and how much I gave, I sacrificed, physically, all these things like that. But if I didn't blow my knee out with the Cowboys, I would have never been an actor,
Right.
and had that 30-year experience and all things. I mean, people literally, some of the, like, Beatrice, the people come up to you and just to see the joy on people's faces that you've brought to them by them watching your performance. Right.
Yeah.
And then, that just means so much. And then even take it a step further, they put a tattoo of you on their body. It's like
crazy.
I want to hug them. And the first person I wanted to go home with them, I was like, do I need to go home with you? And, I don't know. I feel obligated, or I need to do your dishes or something. I'm not sure. But anyway,
we're tied together forever. Which one? They did a tattoo of you, just your face, or you as somebody, or
no, Nightmare on Elm Street. Like this gentleman here in the corner. So that's the guy. The guy in the bottom is that's the guy who dresses up like me. So
see, I got the wrong picture of you in there.
Yeah.
See, I saw it on your thing. See, yeah, I thought it was you.
Well, that dude's pretty. I forgot the guy's. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. He's a pretty yoked out dude. He's a big guy.
Michael, it was funny. Well, I thought John had put it up for a specific reason, but they, there's so many times. There's so many times people show a photo of Nihongo. Beatrice wa takusan no boshi o kabutta jouzu desu. Kono tamanegi wa nani so ni mo kasanatte imasu. Can you write that in Japanese, Jonathan? So, takusan no boshi. I thought wearing lots of hats, boshi. Anyway, and tamanegi, an egg, tamanegi. Anyway, Nihongo shabiremasu ka? But yeah, it's now Jonathan Steele. You got me all confused. John, we were talking.
Now I got your brain in overdrive. Huh?
You got me thrown. We were talking to Michael about.
I know. I didn't mean to pull it up. I grabbed the wrong one, and then I knew you saw. You were gonna attempt that, and you did have a hard question for Michael. So she kind of deserved it, Michael, didn't she? We get to see her speak.
It was a great question.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about, right? Yeah.
Because something too that it's to live in someone else's body or whatever like that, but have your soul and everything else, then that's just to me is like it's just a physical portion, and you meet so many people in this world that have such great spirits, such great souls, and just things about them that might be the most handsome, the most whatever it is, or just there's so many. Yeah, there's so much more that's about importance that which goes inside you instead of out of you.
Right.
Yeah. So great question.
That's a great answer, though. I mean,
it is absolutely.
No, it was a tough question. It made me think, and thank you for that. I do.
Sure. Well, I actually I never answered it on the show, but I always think I would want to be like one of our billionaires, and I wouldn't be sending little rockets up and down into the oceans and up into the sky. I'd be saving our people.
Sending baby Freddy to the masses.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly what I do if I was a billionaire.
Yeah, I have some goals like that. I have a biological father that I never met before, and really don't. Just because my father is my father, and I realized very soon in life that anybody can get anybody pregnant. Being a father is raising that child, and my father is phenomenal. He's most inspirational man I've ever met in my entire life. This is a badass dude. The guy's only 5'6", but the guy's 30 years in the Air Force, worked in, Black Ops stuff with the Air Force, SR-71s, Vietnam, just world's just so much wisdom, and he's taught me so much. If you have time, I have this one little story that's a great story that I tell my kids the same thing. So when I got done with the 82nd Airborne Division, I came home, and my dad, and I had about 3 months I had to go to Eastern Michigan to play football. And he says, well, you're just not going to sit around for 3 months. Go down to the house I'm in right now. Go down to the down the hill, end of the street. There's a warehouse down there asking for a job. Well, they're not hiring. I don't care. Go down and ask them. So I went down there and asked them, like, hey, you guys hiring? He goes, nah, we're not hiring, man. All right. So 2 days later, he goes, hey, go down to that warehouse again and ask them if you're hiring. He goes, Dad, I just went down there a couple days ago. And he's like, go down there and ask them. Okay. So I went down there and I walk in and he goes, dude, I told you we're not hiring. Okay. So then about 3 or 4 days goes by. He goes, go down there and ask them again. And then he got an argument. I'm like, I'm not asking. That's just stupid. And I'm like, wait. He said, go down there and ask him. So I'm like, I did.
And how old were you at this time?
I got out of the military, 22.
Okay.
So I mean, I spent time in the military, so I was 22 years old, and now I'm in an argument with him.
Right.
We're yelling back and forth. This is really stupid. He says, get your ass in the car and drive down there. Drove down there, and the guy was ready to call the cops on me. All of a sudden, he's like, the warehouse is yelling at me. All of a sudden, the guy in the back goes, hey, Jim, Joe just quit. We need somebody. Guy turns to me and goes, hey, you want a job?
No way. Wow.
So that just taught me a huge lesson that I tell my kids to this day, every day. And he says, the lesson is you're always going to lose if you don't try. I mean, if you don't try, you're always losing. So keep trying. And so what someone tells you, no, it doesn't matter. Keep trying. Acting is what I learned, right? Beatrice, you and I.
For sure. Yeah.
Right? You get so many no's, but you keep doing it. After I did Number in Elm Street, this is easy. I can go did this. Holy crap. It was not easy.
Surprise.
And I came from zero background of acting, right? My first audition after I got done with that movie, I read for a commercial, and the casting director goes to me. She goes, can I ask you a question? And I said, yeah. She goes, do you have a day job? I said, oh, yeah, I work at this test laboratory for my degrees in computer science. And I'm doing that, testing consumer products. She goes, you should probably keep that job. And I walked outside. I'm like, wait a minute, she just insulted me. And I was like, I was freaking so pissed, and it just made me mad. And I said, okay, I want to show you. I didn't go tell her that. I went and started taking scene study, improv, cold reading, audition techniques, everything possible to learn the craft in Hollywood. And after, it must have been about a year or so, I started working. I started booking this, booking that, booking this. And I'm a big dude. I was 6'4", 275, 280 pounds, about 90% body fat. 9% body fat, really a big ripped guy. And I'd compete against other guys as big like me, but now I was booking because now I'm a trained actor, and they just walked in going rah, 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 and thinking they would get the role. Right. I cleaned up, and that's why I've done all the work I've done. So
good for you.
Big listen. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope everyone, all you guys listening and out there, this is the thing, to do the work, to be able to stick with it, keep trying. Don't be afraid of the no's. And then also back it up by learning what you need to learn, like do your homework. He did all those steps, and look at this amazing career this guy's had. I mean, it's really very, very impressive.
Thank you. I've been blessed for sure.
I'm
not done.
No.
I got stuff to do. I've been writing. I've written 10 screenplays.
Wow.
I've had 2 optioned. This one recently just got optioned. It's called My Good Boy. It's a great story. It's been delayed because of the whole writer strike thing happening. I can't sign anything with anybody yet, but that's going to be produced by David Jeffrey, who did Shantaram on Apple Plus, Bones, Prison Break, Queen of the South, big TV guy. And so he wants to get into the film side. And and so we're going to, he wants to go in production end of this year. We'll see how the strike goes. But, yeah.
Wow, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Hey, what's the saying? And Beatrice knows this, if someone's got to make it, why not me? Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And, and in terms of being able to accept all those no's, I mean, I always, I tell my son, one of my sons who wants to, he's in music now. He went to, not theater school. He went to music technology. And now he's working in a studio, and he's actually a really, really good composer.
Wow.
He's more into, right now being a DJ and doing all this EDM music and stuff and house and trap and whatever the heck that all is. But I also know, like, whenever he's been asked, he's been able to do beautiful classical music and really great soundtracks. And anyway, but when I keep telling him, like, because right now he doesn't make enough to even really pay the rent. And I said, when you're a performer, we get paid when we get paid, because we're doing what we love to do. When we get paid, we're getting paid for all the times we didn't work, because when we get a job and that's how I always felt about it was when I land that job, I would do the job. I'm not saying this to all you independent filmmakers, but I would do it for free. I mean, the acting we would do because we love to act, but being an actor, we have to audition, we have to be out there, we have to keep our instruments strong. There's so much work to get us each role that, to me, the pay is actually, for all the times we're not working.
I agree.
And shout out to your son, because the theme song for DK and the Bees Horror Buzz was done by him.
That's true. That's right. Yeah. He did that. So if they are, for all you independent filmmakers out there watching, if you need a score, if you need somebody to do your, he does sound design and he can score films. He does beautiful stuff. And we got lots of actors right here on screen. If you want us, we're up, and Michael and I are
two of the coolest
available for some good fun projects that we can sink our teeth into. Right.
And I want to touch on the con thing too. I think it's great. And when to have you at the table, Michael, especially since Robert can be very busy, to have Freddy at the cons with some of these actors and actresses, especially Nightmare on Elm Street 5, I know that'd be something really, really cool.
Yeah, because we've never had Michael with us. That would be really awesome.
Would you dress up like Super Freddy again? Would you don it?
Yeah, I've done a couple of costume photo ops before, so yeah.
The fans love that. So
Amanda Krueger, Super Freddy pictures. That'd be pretty.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I love it.
Okay, well, so we only have a couple more minutes before we say our goodbyes. But does anyone have any questions for Michael? You can ask us right now. Yeah. This is James Roth, who does all our amazing gloves. My Elm Street 5 glove.
Yeah.
He's saying, we should get a Super Freddy glove.
I have. I've signed a whole bunch of those, and so
very cool.
Hundreds of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have some at Denver. I'll be bringing a full-size Freddy too. So
good. Oh, I love it.
Photos with them. So I'll have quite a few things needed to help.
Yeah.
Add a little coolness over there. Some Freddy heads and stuff. We'll hook you up.
I love it.
Kamisha Smith, who's commenting right now. She had earlier talked about your Charmed. Which was so great because you'd been back on it so many times, right? Like 3 times, 4 times. What?
I did 5 different characters on that show. So it's funny, no one knew it was the same dude. So that did all those characters. So I played Balthazar, I played Janor, who was like a Grimlock, and I played Shax, I played the Source, and then I played another Grimlock at the end, like a part of the power table or something like that. It goes to show on something like that, and Beatrice, you know this. Good work gets more work. If you're great on the set, if you're easy to work with, even if they kind of sometimes switch you a little bit or put you in a bind, but you're open and you're flexible, man, that goes a long ways. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with actors, super talented, but just a-holes. And eventually you'll work a little bit more, but they'll eventually run you out of business. They will, because they just don't want to work with you.
Because who wants to work with that? Yeah. Yeah.
And so for me, I started out as a guest star role on that. As an episode was called All Hallowell's Eve. It was a Halloween episode. I played a Grimlock. And I remember doing that. And it was a guest star role on that. And
Is
About
that
halfway.
one? Is that this guy or no? Somebody else?
No, that's Shaq's.
Okay.
That's Shaq's. This other one. And the AD come up to me and he goes, "Hey, the director was commenting. He said that you're probably one of the best actors he's worked with in like 5 or 6 years." And I'm like,
wow.
Okay, first of all, are you talking about me? Really? Me? And then secondly, he must be really hurting if I'm one of the best actors he ever worked with. And he said, no, he is. And so I kind of blew it. I said, thank you so much. You don't let that stuff go to your head. And then I was in the last day, excuse me. Last day I was on my trailer and manager calls me and says, "Hey, they want you back." I said, "Well, my character's dying." He goes, "Well, no, it's this other character. I guess this other person's not working out. They want to replace him with you." And so they went back, reshot the episode of all my stuff with, that I replaced him with, and took this care for the next 2 years. And then also played Shax, who killed Shannon Doherty off the show. It was wonderful. So that's another one of my action figures.
Okay. I think, wait, here, I want to show them this. Wait,
I watch Charm a lot, and I'm trying to remember it's been a long time since I watched it, but I'm sure I'd remember your characters if I saw it again.
I can find.
I think I stopped watching it when Alyssa Milano. It's right around the time I forget. I was probably just so busy I lost track of it. But I watched the first 4 seasons.
Here, Michael. Here is this here.
Oh yeah. So that's
okay. Yeah.
So this guy right here would be. I'm looking at it's my lower right. That's not me. I don't know who that is.
Oh, but this one in the red.
Yeah, that one. The top left is that's Janor. And then Shax, he's like a dead Fabio. And then there's what do you call it? Balthazar, and then I also played the Grimlock. Okay. And
I wonder why they put that guy with you, because it's they're saying it's you, but I guess
that's not
they get it wrong.
Like me putting the wrong Super Freddy in his picture. It just happened.
Can I share this? I don't know if I can see if you can see this. You see this photo? See that photo?
Oh, here, add to stream. Yeah.
Oh, you and Robert.
Is that Robert? That's at Fuse Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. So yeah.
Oh, awesome! Oh, fun.
So
very cool.
Yeah, really great.
Wow. Oh well, we could keep talking. I mean, you've done so many things. We barely even scratched the surface, but it's been great having you on the show, and it's nice to actually chat with you finally.
Yeah, I mean, John, I was with John and Brett on your same show.
Yeah. You guys have known each other, what, 20, 30 years? you and Brett known each other for a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Brett's I love Brett to death. He's coming to the wedding. You guys are invited, of course. We'd love to have you. Please come. It's going to be a quality, really nice. It's at a vineyard. It's just gorgeous. And anybody listening can come too. Just let me know so I can. So my wife or my fiance said, "Oh my crap!" She's like got her head in her hands right now. But
like, how many people
could participate? She's got the
she could probably over 200.
Okay. So. Well, yeah, and we had over like 240 people on the screen at one point when you were saying, "Oh, you're all welcome." I was like,
"Yeah, no, it's good."
All these people show up.
It's at the Sassafras Winery in Northwest Arkansas. It's voted one of the best wedding and winery venues in this area. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Oh, fantastic. So, well, we would love to. All right. Well, we wish you both a wonderful year leading up to it. Well, it's not even a year, but whatever it is, 9 months, 8 months.
Yeah. We're just so busy. My fiance is getting her company launched off the ground, which is a phenomenal company, very unique idea. She's a brilliant lady who's come up with a invention how to basically restore clothes that have shrunk.
Oh, very cool.
Anybody that's tall like me get pants or you wash and they shrink.
Yeah.
She has a plan of fixing it.
Oh,
nothing like it on the market. Yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Well, you can come back on sometime and tell us all about it.
Yeah, I'll have her on. She's brilliant. So yeah.
Okay. Well, wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael. And
thank you.
Well, John gets to see you soon, and I'm sure we'll be at a show together at some point.
So I have a question for you. So what are you guys doing for the 4th?
We got a barbecue at work, so I'm going to be with my special needs guys, and we're going to have a barbecue. We got brats, burgers, hot dogs. So pretty cool.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
And me too. I got friends here in New York. We've been invited to, and my mother-in-law is going to come along too. So I'm making my famous. I do like that edible fruit, like the fruit. I just cut them into all pretty little things and put them on
Okay.
skewers.
Wow.
And yeah.
Wow.
So gonna do
Yeah,
that.
she does some cool stuff. She's a lady. She's not just an actor. She's got many talents.
Well, if we come to the wedding, you can bring your incredible fruit. That'd be awesome.
There we go. There you go. That will be my yeah. What are you gonna do, Michael? What are
So
you
I'm here
Paige
with
doing?
Paige, and I have all my brothers and sisters are here, which is great. I have
How many siblings?
I have one other brother and 4 sisters, so a big family.
Wow.
And my mom and dad are here. Mom and dad. I'm blessed. My dad's 85, going 90 miles an hour. My mom's 84, going 90 miles an hour. But they're also tiny people. So my dad's 5'6", and my mom's 5'4". So tiny people live a lot longer than big guys that are like my size. So, but and then we got some. Then my older son's here with his gal, and yeah, it's been a blessing. So we went to Mount Rushmore today. I've seen it a billion times. But I took Paige and my brother gal up there, and then we had pizza tonight, and then tomorrow getting together. We got more festivities, more people are coming in. Then we have a big, what do you call it? Big celebration on 4th. And then next day I'm going to drive back. It's only from my house, or our house in Northwest Arkansas. It's only 12 hours away. That was an easy drive. So we just drove it. Yeah. 12
hours. I don't know. That's easy, but I guess
you get used to. Are you driving? Are you going to wind up driving to Denver?
I don't know. I don't know. We might fly. I don't know what they're gonna do with me. I might drive it. We'll see. Depends.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Denver in August, if I can get it right. 18th through the 20th. We got the big swag there. We got Doug Tate there.
Doug is great. I love Doug. Is Derek Mears coming?
I don't know. Derek Mears isn't announced there. I'm trying to. And then Beatrice and I this weekend. So we'll be next to Mark Burnham. And we're right in the front. So anybody going to Kansas City Crypticon are going to find us real easy. We're going to have amazing stuff.
We got all kinds of goodies. Yeah.
Denver, Michael, we love Michael here. I'm going to have a ton of Freddy stuff bringing to Crypticon Colorado as well. And, Doug's great. He'll have some Myers. I'll have by him.
Those
so
guys.
We're going to have a nice setup. We're going to have cool items. And you get to meet Beatrice Boepple, Amanda Krueger, and Michael Bailey Smith, the man who's Super Freddy, but so many other roles.
I'm kind of sneaky like that. I'm pretty sneaky. Like, I've done, there's a few things I've done, like, Nightmare on Elm Street. I did Hills Have Eyes. I've done, what else? I've done like Star Trek and Babylon 5. I've done, a lot of those types of things, but then I've done a whole bunch of other things, where I'm either a Master of Disguise with Dana Carvey, a comedy film, or I'm doing a Von Damme film, getting the crap beat out of me, or I'm doing a film with Ving Rhames, Wesley Snipes in Vegas. That's a whole different story where I got arrested, thinking that was the real Aryan Brotherhood thing. And I've done so blessed. And so, yeah, people are like, oh, wow, you've done like all this stuff. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sell it. Those things don't sell at conventions. So
no, well, I mean, that's John knows. I get sometimes frustrated because I had the lead role and carried a couple Canadian films, and all this stuff, and I'd been acting for quite a bit before I got Elm Street. I was at the ops. So you started with Elm Street and then moved on, continued and to have this big career. I had a pretty big career in Canada. I was doing really, really well, and then I did Elm Street, and then I didn't work again. But but that was by choice. I mean, it was 100% by choice. But, for sure. People want to know us for whatever, me as Amanda Krueger. That's really what they care about. The same with you and Super Freddy. And even Danny, like I think about, I say this to Danny all the time is, what it must feel like after having done 6 tours of duty and, what he's done for the country. And yet, people run up and, oh, you were Danny. I don't know. It's just funny. It's funny.
No, it's great. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. And your photo you're a beautiful lady anyway, but that photo in there, you're a good looking nun. That's probably going to go to hell for that. But
I think there was a lot of guys who had the crush on Beatrice and like,
oh, they wanted to get spanked by the nun or something.
Yeah.
I don't know about that part. I don't know spanking.
But we love you guys so much. We're going to do another show. I'd love to get you, Doug, Beatrice, Brett, and we'll do a whole Crypticon talk leading into Colorado and have some fun. So
sounds good.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Thank you to my wonderful, beautiful co-host, Beatrice Boepple, the ultimate strong, huge Michael Bailey Smith. Thank you for coming out. It was great seeing you. Take care of yourself. Start feeling better, and best of luck with this wedding.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's gonna be awesome.
And with your skin, I'm glad it's getting better.
Yeah, it's good. My last day's today, and then it starts healing, so I'm good.
Awesome. All right.
Well,
take care, you guys. Thank you.
Colorado. See you guys there.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.